教育是一门关于的职业。
Let me start off by asking you all, have you ever watched a film called The Silent Forest before? The film is a Taiwanese social thriller inspired by a real-life sexual abuse scandal at the National Tainan Special School, a Taiwanese school for the deaf. The film follows a main character named Chang Chen, adjusting to his new environment. He eventually finds himself in love with a fellow classmate named Bebe. From the bright love story that is evolving, things start to take a horrifying turn. When he finds out that the senior students, led by Zhao Guang, have been sexually abusing their underclassmen, including his lover, Bebe. Many of you may ask why this is titled Thai cinema when I'm talking about a Taiwanese film. Well, many of you may not know that there is something deeply wrong about Thai cinema. What do I mean by cinema? It is just the art of making motion pictures, which we all know as films, series, or soap operas. In the past 10 years, I've came across a series of Thai films, series, and especially Acorns that has not only hit an all-time low, but also came across as disgusting and disturbing. A perfect example of this is 2021's soap opera Wife's Need, or in Thai we call it Mia Jampin. The story is just a very simple one. It is just about two star-crossed lovers. However, what I want to focus on is the portrayal of rape in this soap versus the portrayal in The Silent Forest. Let's start out with Mia Jampin. The female protagonist had been brutally raped in a faraway cottage. She was saved and put in a hospital. Soon the male protagonist became disgusted at his lover, alongside other side characters making fun of her being raped. That isn't just it. The male protagonist decides to bring his lover back to the place where she got raped and decides to chain her there, putting her in the same traumatic event that she was once in. On the other hand, in The Silent Forest, after Bebe was brutally assaulted by the seniors, she acted the same. But it was later revealed that she had been raped multiple times, and on several occasions, she tried to seek help from the school. But the administrators denied her accusation because they didn't want to ruin the school's reputation. Lost, Bebe decides to keep that shame and disgust deep inside of her. Eventually, Chang Chen, her lover, found out and told Wang Tachun, a teacher that he entrusted, and eventually the event unfolded. Another rape scene that I want to focus on is by Zhao Guang, the rapist himself. He was raped back when he was a freshman by a teacher in the school. That event traumatized him and caused a scar that eventually caused him to become a rapist himself. Sure, many of you may argue that The Silent Forest is a film and Mia Jampin is a soap opera, and you can't really compare the two. But the truth is, it doesn't matter, because it is still cinema. As filmmakers, we tend to provide others with stories that help inspire and help people around the world. That is what most of us intend to do. We want to share our stories, we want to change the world. However, this isn't the case with Mia Jampin. The soap is just a perfect depiction of what is wrong about our country and our industry. Eventually, the director came out and stated that her intentions were to make girls more cautious about the situation. This, however, is completely false because it doesn't matter whether or not you're cautious. If it happens because someone has chosen to do it without the victim's consent. We don't know other people's intentions, whether it be teachers, friends, other students, adults, even our partners. Saying that you're trying to teach women to be more cautious is basically pinning the fault on the victim. Instead of teaching women to be more cautious, why aren't we teaching people to not commit these crimes? Men and women. Why don't we instead create more options of help for these victims to go to? The boyfriend in Mia Jampin was supposed to be the person who should have comforted the victim. Instead, he scarred her, he chained her, he put her in the same traumatic event that she was in before. However, in the Silent Forest, Chang Chen was the one who sacrificed himself for Bebe, to the point he had to suck a 6th grader's penis. You see, the meaning behind the usage of rape is completely different. The Silent Forest used rape to showcase the trauma it causes to each character, the consequences of it, the different perspectives of it, and why people should not commit these crimes. And the most important difference, it is the supportive nature. The film provides the audience a solution to tell your peers, your friends, your family. Even if the teachers or other people don't believe you, to never ever stop trying to stand up and fight back. Seek help, seek comfort. And for us, we need to be there for them as well. On the other hand, our filmmakers in Thailand are trying to use rape just for entertainment purposes. This is just what I can infer. It just highlights everything that is wrong about our industry. Women are mostly objectified in each and every Thai lakorn I've watched. They've always painted as things that can't defend themselves. But in reality, it is not that way. I'm not saying that we shouldn't help women who are in danger, but to always paint a picture that women are just weak human beings is just an old mindset to have. The fact that our filmmakers are using rape to generate more viewership is basically just the reality of our country, isn't it? It just shows how far our entertainment industry is at the moment compared to other countries. Instead of moving forward, we are moving backwards. And I'm not talking about the equipment we have or whether it looks good or not. I'm talking about the message, the story, the film. It doesn't require you 10 million baht to spend your time crafting a good message or create a compelling story. The Silent Forest is a perfect example of this. The storytelling, the story, the acting, and most importantly, the message it's trying to send out. What the film is trying to convey. I understand that cinema is a form of art. It is subjective. But at least as humans, we must also respect others as well. What do I mean by respect? You see, these works like Myejampin are now being broadcasted on Netflix and all around Thailand, influencing kids and teens all around the world to think that people that are victims of rape are disgusting. Instead of raising awareness, we are normalizing a social issue that the whole world has been trying to fix for decades. This is what I call respect. If you want the viewership, at least respect others in the process. Not only just do it for profit and views. Not only just about rape and sexual assault, but LGBT as well. I was also once a victim of this. I've grown up with different soaps and series blasting an over-the-top third-sex gender stereotype that I once believed was true. It was ingrained in my brain that third-sex genders are always over-the-top and weird, which in reality, they are not like that. These soaps and lakorns have created a society that have prejudice against third-sex gender. It sucks because I do want to see great Thai films, series, and lakorns like Bad Genius, Happy Old Year, Hormones, or Vengeance playing around the country each year. I want to hear other nations talking about how inspirational our cinema is, but no, we are stuck. We can't only have one film company create new and fresh films, series all the time. If so, we won't grow. I feel like it is just the nature of Thai people. We hate to change. We hate having to put in hard work. We hate having to be different. We hate accepting the truth. We hate listening to others, but we love getting money. We love cheating our ways to success. And that is just the reality of our country. No matter the area, whether it is cinema or any other thing related to this country. Until we change our mindset and our thinking, we won't progress. And we will keep being behind others in every subject area all the time. It is such a dark reality that we live in. Don't you agree? But isn't it just the reality of our country that we live in?